Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we saw the trailer for season 2 of the Rings of Power, and to be honest, for now I think I'd rather watch and enjoy the bows and arrows and swords found right in front of us, as Hera, playing as the Mayans in blue, prepares to take on Vivi, playing as the Portuguese in red. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP, not a bad opportunity for us to take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today. The Mayans, a civilization that pushes its players towards archer units. Their skirmishers can be upgraded to throw a second, albeit weaker projectile, and their foot archers, except for those skirmishers I just mentioned, do become progressively cheaper as the game goes on, which does help the Mayans mass their unique unit, the plumed archer. This is the fastest foot archer in the game, and one that comes with a small attack bonus against infantry. Now, to support their ranged units against the enemy, Mayan walls are cheaper, 50% cheaper, buy one, get one free. And by the way, that applies to palisades as well and gates as well, so their archers can stay safe behind a lot of these, and their eagle warriors can be upgraded to get a massive 40 extra HP. That help produce as large an army as possible. Mayan resources do last 15% longer, and the eagle-eyed viewers would have seen an extra villager underneath the town center because the Mayans start the game with one extra villager, but 50 less food, which means generally at the top left, you'll have seen loom being researched for the Mayan immediately because, of course, no TC idle time is best TC idle time, as Hera pulls a rhino, takes a poke to the butt, but I don't expect any more issues as the rhino falls. Now let's take a look at another civilization that might want to poke the Mayan in the butt. We've got the Portuguese in this matchup. Civilization whose economic bonuses allow it to take advantage of its pretty damn good gunpowder roster to get an early game boost to your economy. Portuguese foragers also generate wood while they collect their berries. All Portuguese units cost less gold. All technologies are researched faster, except for going up to the next age. And speaking of going up to the next and final age, once you do hit Imperial, you have access to a unique economic building, the Feitoria. This is an economic structure that auto-generates all 4 resources, but does take up 20 population space. Now, using all these bonuses and features, the Portuguese can field an impressive gunpowder-based army since they have access to every single non-unique gunpowder unit in the game, and all of these gunpowder units can be upgraded to fire more accurately at moving targets and increase the speed of their projectiles, both of which strongly benefit their unique unit, the organ gun. This is a gunpowder siege unit that fires 5 or 6 bullets in a small spread, designed basically to hit multiple targets at once, and does come with a small attack bonus against infantry, skirmishers, and even buildings. So those are the 2 civilizations we've got in front of us. We've seen this Civ matchup, I don't want to say recently, but maybe in the last 2 weeks. I believe MBL and Doubt in an Empire Wars map were duking it out on Hollow Woodland, if memory serves me correctly. So it will be interesting to see how the players play these civs, how the players react to the players playing these civs. For now, 16 villagers a pop, not a bad opportunity for us to take a minute to look at the bases and see whether or not any player is advantaged or disadvantaged. First of all, let's take a look at the map and see the attack path between the 2 bases. One small forest, a lion, is all that stands between these 2 bases. So pretty much a direct A to B without any kind of angle or tangents needing to be taken here. Both bases look pretty damn open on the map, so let's see what's going on. Berries to the back for our Portuguese, who is slowly gathering wood while he picks these berries and using that wood to plop down a mill. Forests to the rear, not really covering too much in the front. There's one medium-sized forest here as well, but pretty much forward position completely open. 3 militias are en route to Hera's base, so let's quickly continue here. Primary gold off to the side, primary stone nice and secure to the back. Additional golds. Ooh, one very much on the attack path here. That is very unfortunate. It's about as close to Hera's base as it is to Vivi's base. That's not a good location for a gold at all. Extra 3rd patch of gold off to the right. So not the greatest, not the worst of bases. Some stone and berries and gold. Gold not so easily secured, but we'll see whether or not Hera is the one pushing out. For now, I see his scout is on the map. We'll see what he can get accomplished in terms of viewing. The exact opposite is true here for the berries for our Mayan. They are very much in the forward position, and Hera is not taking them at all at the moment. He is walling off. He wants his stone. He's got 3 militias of his own. Okay. They don't see the Portuguese militia going towards their base. Oh no. Hera, by the way, is a few seconds away from Feudal Age. Vivi, is he going to go fast castle? Is he going to go something else? He is going up on 23 villagers. Primary gold off the beaten path, but under attack nonetheless. Where's the primary stone? We saw it here forming part of the wall off. There's extra gold to the back and extra forest to the back. And the third gold that we saw is disgustingly placed in between the two bases. Hera comes under attack by a not so cowardly lion. Now he knows that there's units here. Now he's going up to men-at-arms. I suspect he's probably not going to train any more units out of this barracks, going more for the archer play. Remember, right now we're in feudal for the Mayans, which means their archer units are 10% cheaper. And now is the time Hera chooses to go for the berries, the lemons, the pretty blue butterflies. He does have enough wood for a mill, but will he use it instead to train archers? Okay. So shoos away this militia army. At the same time, he's attacking into this palisade. Vivi reacts, gets there just, not really in the nick of time, but gets there in time nonetheless. And now says, you know what, I'm tired. I don't want to deal with this. I'm just going to put up a secondary wall off, and I'll keep an eye on the minimap, see if Hera pivots anywhere else. Vivi, for his part, is not going anywhere. He hits feudal, and at the end of the day, as he hits feudal, ooh, look at that. They both have 23 villagers a pop. Who got the kill there? First blood being drawn by our mine. It was not the archer, which means it's one of these villagers. Okay. Muscles hardened from all that labor, all the physical activity involved in picking lemons off of their shrubs. They use those muscles to good effect and kill the scout of their opponent, which means what Vivi's seen right now is pretty much what Vivi's going to be seeing for the next probably 10-15 minutes until he, rather, if he decides to go any kind of stable. Right now, no, he's adding an archery range of his own. He's got to be careful here. Hera's slowly pushing in. I mean, I get these two, but why continue building these palisades? You're just making gold mining more annoying for yourself later on. And Vivi's returning home. Okay, so he's seen his opponent's base, hasn't really done much penetration of the base, doesn't really know what's going on, knows that there's an archery range, obviously, because there are two archers chasing him. And oh, Hera moves to intercept. Keep going this way, keep going this way. And we've got a confusing Feudal Age battle as Hera gets another kill. Kills Mother Nature herself here with a lion falling. But now these units are underneath, or rather, able to go underneath the town center. So not too much that Hera can do to push in here with these melee units. And archers never. You're never going to see archers push into skirmishers on a pro level. Blacksmith going up for our Mayan. Is he attempting to wall any part of this? Not at all. Okay. Our Portuguese. His wall in got dented in a nice little triangle arrowhead shape. Very pleasing to the eye, but very non-productive there for our Mayan, who probably could have used some of these units back home to try to kill the militia. The militia are still here. For now, Vivi indicating to us that he has no interest in upgrading them at all. And Hera's back. He's added a couple of archers. That's pretty much it. He's getting fletching. So for the moment, retreating a little bit, waiting the 17 seconds he needs to complete that upgrade. Another archer, another eagle. Our Mayan has the villager lead by 1, the army lead by 3, the score lead by about 20%. And he is sitting pretty. A lot of high ground here for him to take with his archers. That being said, Vivi, who is housed at the moment, okay, just completes a house here to the north where he's also plopped a blacksmith. So now both players have their requisite structures. Vivi is not in a terrible position here at all. He is keeping pace with the villager numbers. He hasn't suffered any more losses aside from those original scout militia combo. He's adding archer units of his own. Of course, he's paying more for them because he's not the Mayans. But he's also got 7 skirmishers, which is going to zone out these archers. Now, Hera has not included any spearmen in this composition. Why would he? And so skirmishers maybe not the greatest of units against these 2 infantry units that Hera's brought forward. No upgrades on them whatsoever, though. And so he chases Vivi back. Vivi could have used an opportunity here on the high ground to maybe shell away at some of these archer units. Maybe he would have lost the skirmisher, but would have definitely taken down an archer. Okay, they disengage yet again. What are you being built here? A market for our Portuguese, and that's basically all she wrote. Hera, at the moment, not training any more of anything other than villagers, and he's doing that thing that pro players do where he queues 7 villagers. I don't know if that's just score manipulation, mind games, but I'm assuming if he gets another 100 food, he's going to cancel those villagers and go up to Castle Age. I don't know why pro players do this. Do they think that their opponent is keeping an eagle eye on their scores? Vivi, for his part, not doing it at all, but he is much further away from going up to Castle Age. So somebody in the comments, let me know. I mean, this is something that players would know. And there we go. Hera cancels all of his villagers in the production tab and goes castle. So he had 350 food invested and queued up in villagers. Oh, speaking of, he just lost. Vivi gets the first kill for his part, and it is a villager. So there's that early Mayan villager lead gone. Hera's still ahead 1 villager, though. It looks like he's managed to get a kill on the other side of the map. If I missed that, we'll have seen it in picture. Now Vivi's kind of circling. I like this. Not only can you not train villagers at the moment because you are going up to castle, but if you have to garrison your villagers on top of that, that might be bad news bears. That being said, Hera shouldn't be too afraid to engage into this. He's got 5 Eagle Warriors now with +1 armor. And this is mostly skirmishers. And what's not skirmishers is archers. And what's not skirmishers and archers is 2 Dark Age militiamen who, if I'm not mistaken, have very little HP. And so Vivi, this is a throwaway army. So we'll keep an eye on what's going on with this army. Hera's attacking a house. Hera's inside the base here. He's managed to get 2 villager kills of his own, but his army does get gunned down for it. Vivi looks like he got another villager kill on the other side of the map. Men-at-Arms retreat, having accomplished little to nothing. And now he's being chased away. There's... oh, never mind. I thought that was the villager for a second, but it is, I believe, the Eagle Warrior. Uh-oh, now Vivi's between a rock and a hard place, and he gets vipered, but... oh, no! Now he gets really vipered here. And that's all she wrote for the Portuguese Expeditionary Force. And look at this! No, it's not the Mayan with the cheaper walls who's walling himself in with stone. It is our Portuguese with stone. Is he planning on ramping up the aggression? Is he planning up on booming economically? What is the name of the game here for our Portuguese in red, who is facing not the scariest of pushes right now? That being said, in a minute, there's going to be, rather in 12 seconds, there's going to be 11 Eagle Warriors moving forward. And Scout the Warrior stats improved nicely. And we'll see if we're lucky enough to see Elite Eagle Warriors, the stats improve even more nicely. More nicely. There you go. English. They miss the Eagle heading north, but the Eagle, I believe, also missed. Actually, maybe not. The Eagle's line of sight is ridiculously good. Look at the line of sight on this unit. This is an infantry unit. Okay, so he's pushing in his Hera through the north as he himself places a second town center near the stone. No second TC just yet for our Portuguese, who is here yet again, moving forward with his archers, but again gets vipered by the quick micro of his opponent, and all 4 archers bite the dust. That being said, back home he is secure. Eagle's going to finish the job that the Men-at-Arms started as they continue attacking palisades, and the Eagles continue attacking palisades. Everyone's attacking palisades and walls. Our Mayans had a few villagers, adds a 3rd TC. So what's the name of the game here for the Mayan? Is he going to go pure Eagle play, expecting organ guns? We've seen Eagles perform quite nicely against organ guns. Cav archers. Cav archers. I struggle sometimes to make sense of the Cav archer play from the Portuguese, because it is a... On the one hand, you're kind of indicating to your opponent that I'm not really that interested in going to Imperial Age with these units, because there's no heavy Cav archer for the Portuguese. They're stuck. Like the Teutons and Scouts, they're stuck at this. And on top of that, there's no Parthian tactics for them either. So not exactly an Imperial Age unit is the Cav archer. But somebody did rightly point out, I mentioned in a game a few days ago, I was curious as to why Hera was going Cav archers. And somebody pointed out that he was doing so because they cost no food. which allowed him to build up his economy and get more and more villagers while he focused on the wood gold units. So we'll see if that's what the name of the game here is for Vivi. He is at an 8 villager deficit right now, and he's still on 1 town center. This does, by the way, give him a lot of mobility. That's obviously goes without saying that this unit is a lot more mobile than any kind of foot archer play, which, to be fair, we've seen a lot of foot archer plays out of the Portuguese. Vivi has 400 stone, 8 on stone. Hera also has 8 on stone. A single scorpion. That odd sound that it makes when you click the unit. Sounds like, I don't know what it sounds like, a drum, almost. And finally, the 2 militias from an hour and a million years ago get got. Cav archers see a couple of scorpions. They're going to pivot and see what they can get accomplished or scout or whatever on the left side of the base. They will or will they not discover that there's another town center here. I mean, he's seen the second. No, he hasn't seen the second TC. How has he not seen that town center? Okay, now he sees this one. So he knows he's going at a minimum against a second town center. More cav archers. He's going up to 17 cav archers. Has he explored this part of the map? No, he hasn't. So Vivi doesn't know that he doesn't really need to waste his time here trying to enter into choke points and alleys against scorpions and monks. He doesn't know that he doesn't need to attack palisades. He literally could run in here and get so much damage accomplished. Another town center for our Mayan. Is Hera expecting to lose villagers? Is Hera expecting to boom heavily into Imperial? We'll see what the 4th town center is for. Sometimes they preemptively realize, hey, you know what? I'm not really going to wall off this part of the map, even though I am the Mayans and everything wall off related is cheaper. So why don't I just build a massive economy so I can lose 20 or 30 villagers without it really impacting me? Now Vivi sees the 3rd town center. So he knows he's playing a 3 TC opponent. He himself is adding no TCs. He's moving forward with his 800 stone. Where, oh, where will he place the castle? And this 1 foot archer now discovers and explores this part of the map, but for some reason is going this way. Had he gone south, he would have seen that it's completely open. Okay, let's see if Vivi manages to get some of these villagers. Gets 1. Gets 2. But the castle should be going up. The knights are doing a good job body blocking here. Only 2 villagers for all these cav archers. And Vivi cancels, loses like 20 stone, doesn't really care. Cancels his castle. Brings his cav archers that penetrated into here. And now he's repositioning his castle. Plumes are on the way. Castle Age, they are 30% cheaper. So I believe, what is it, 44 gold? Again, Vivi enters into this real narrow choke point, not really knowing what he's going to face. That is a huge risk. Why do you keep inserting yourself into this 1 tile area when you know there are scorpions and monks? Who knows, maybe there's a mangonel or 3 waiting for you. That is a huge risk. Now the knights have to get the hell away for this reason, exactly because they've just become Mayan, baby. And out they run again. Portuguese castle's up though. What is it laming? A barracks, some houses, a blacksmith, and a market. Just the tip of 2 farms. But castle manages to get, I think, its first kill here. That's Scorpion. And out come the organ guns. 1 town center, 1 castle, 1 university is all that our Portuguese feels that he needs right now as he hunts and guns down villagers, or at least tries to gun down villagers. I mean, you might as well get ballistics if you're going to double down on... Well, okay, never mind. He is just about to complete ballistics as the eagles close in, but with a knight, the eagles close into their deaths. And here come the plumes. Now, the cool thing about the plumes, despite their super weak attack, a base of 5, is their chunkier HP and their quicker movement speed. And now they're armored. Although our Portuguese is better armored, has ballistics, and still does have more HP. Organ gun moves in. Tries to distract some of these villagers constructing. This is the 2nd time that Vivi is trying to stop a castle from going up in the... Oh no, the castle's at 340 HP. It's at 10%, which means if Hera cancels this castle, he's going to lose 65 stone. Not the biggest loss of stone, but is he actually going to Yeah, okay, he does actually cancel it. That was very close. Villagers, oh my god, look at this. Look at this. On top of one another, struggling to mine jack whatever wood they can. Organ guns are laming. I mean, this is just fantastic play out of Vivi. 19 villager kills to 2, but more importantly, no productivity. Very little productivity. No productivity. He is just crippling Hera's economy right now with a double whammy of villager kills and idle time. Full TC just now in garrison. 3 villagers in here still. Before it was what? 3 + 6, 9 villagers inside of there. Hera needs to come up with a solution, and very much Hera-like. His solution is, hey, you attack me, I'm just gonna attack you right back. I'm gonna slap you in the face like that new slapping game that's bonkers, that's sweeping the world, where 2 men, 2 women just stand in front of each other and take turns slapping each other. Oh no. Oh no, a 3rd time a castle gets denied. Hera moved his villagers forward, but back home he is defending with his plumed archers so hard that he couldn't afford a protective guard, an escort, a bodyguard. Somebody call Kevin Costner. Attempt number 2. How many villagers is he bringing? Oh my god, 15 more villagers. Plumes are here though. Okay, so they will provide a nice little backup. But he backs away with the villagers. Why did you back away? Castle's only at 58%. Oh my goodness. Look at the villager kill count. 51 to 2. And Vivi is not done yet. He sends a contingent back, suspecting that there might be some trickery going on here. Catches that one villager who's constructing the castle. And that castle is Doubt Castle? No, 64%. And Vivi is just everywhere. Now I'm starting to understand why he went Cav Archers. Mobility is the name of the game when you're facing off against the game's fastest foot archer. Vivi says, you know what's faster than an archer with 2 legs? An archer with 4 legs on a horse. Town center, okay. Does get saved for now. Let's see what's going on here. What the hell is this? When is the last time we saw a pro player break into his opponent's base and then start tiefing the gold literally underneath the very nose of his opponent? And like I said, Hera economically lamed here. He is just in so much trouble. That being said, to show you the absolute incredible skill that is Gamer Legion's Hera, look at the villager kill count at the bottom, 66 villagers. Now take a look at the top of your screen. Hera's villager count is 82 to 80. He has lost 66 villagers and yet still has a villager lead. That being said, very problematic for him is that Vivi off of his 1, now 2 town centers is going up to Imperial. Ooh, with 2 castles here, you best believe those trebs are gonna pop out. Ouch, ouch, ouch. More economic laming. Another town center area completely bereft of villagers. That's 1, 2, 3 town center areas. Okay. Our mine is getting a lot of stone. Okay. Unless you plan on selling that stone, unless you plan on constructing about 1 billion castles. Might want to focus more on the gold patch up here. He must have seen the gold. Yeah, he has seen the gold. And now it's Hera's turn to try to lame this castle. A minute away from Imperial. What will he do when his opponent hits Imperial? He's training 6 villagers at a time as Hera. And now Vivi's catching up. Interesting location for a castle. Basically any space you can take at the moment, even if it involves hilltop farming, is a good space to take if it is safe from the constant, never-ending Portuguese harassment. That being said, Hera has whittled down the Cav Archer count. It is only 6, and these are the last 6 remaining. 28 kills, 19 of them villagers. My goodness. But what he's lost in Cav Archers, he has replaced with organ guns who have 5 kills, 4 of them villagers. And I believe because they're not elite, they do not yet come with an attack bonus against buildings that only have... Oh, yeah, okay. That was kind of predictable, right? Holy moly, Vivi. I am sorry if I doubted your Cav Archer play. Like I said, I try to think of games. Sometimes maybe not the smartest thing to do as a caster. I try to look at games as if they're all going to go to Imperial, which is why you'll always see me say things like, I want to see the unique units and I want to see all the unique technologies and stuff like that. But to be fair, sometimes the players are of a different mentality. They're trying to put as much pressure on a certain age. They're trying to accomplish something specific at a certain age. And in this case, it is the Cav Archer that is the MVP of this game. Holy shnikes, 76 villager kills to 2. But like I said, the absolute beast that is Hera, 90 villagers to 86. And did he know? Is that why he placed so many extra town centers? He still ends the game with more TCs than his opponent. 1, 2, 3. They're not exactly in the best location. They're not exactly as productive as they should be. But wow, what an absolute game out of both players. Vivi, the non-stop harassment right from the very beginning, walling himself in so nicely. Hera could accomplish very little to nothing. I guess he finally did kill that house here that the men-at-arms and the eagle were working on, but Hera literally was not able to accomplish much until that one time he did bust his way in here and got 2 villager kills. And that's the only time he did that, because he still just has 2 villager kills. On the other side of the map, Vivi is just in absolute beast mode. I don't like too much that he just now explored this part of the map. He probably should have seen that there was a big gaping hole that he could have shoved his army into a long time ago. But that's neither here nor there. What an absolute epic play. Vivi, for his part, absolute fantastic aggression. And Hera, for his part, surviving this long and still having a villager lead. But like we saw recently with the Viper Lewis game, when one player puts on all the aggression, but back home they're left to their own devices, even with just one town center for 90% of the game, second TC added very recently, even with one town center, if you leave one of these pro players, if you leave any player, doesn't matter, pro, high elo, low elo, mid elo, no elo, whatever it is, to their own devices, and they get to sit back and boom and get their wood and get their gold and get their stone and get all of their resources, while you have to invest all of your food into replacing 76 villagers. What's 76 times 50 food per villager? Not exactly Hindustani villagers. That is a lot of resources that Hera took away from his eagles, took away from going up to Imperial. Add all that food back and he would have been in Imperial about 5 or 6 minutes ago, maybe ahead of even Vivi in this game. But because he was under so much pressure, constantly being forced to replenish, and not just replenish, but also face the idle time of a bunch of fallow fields and farms, completely what's the word I'm looking for? Zero resource gathering on all of these. Just epic play out of Vivi to keep his opponent double whammied with the dead villagers, and the ones who are left alive were stuck inside the town centers, huddled, fearful, scared that any moment the door could be busted down and in would come a Cav Archer, or I guess in would ride a Cav Archer, or in would roll an organ gun and slaughter them. So double whammy there for Vivi, laming the economy twofold of our Mayan, and unfortunately, eventually, the laming catches up, and it is Vivi who hits Imperial, and literally the second he hits Imperial, Hera just says, all right, you got me this game. I'll tap out. There's not much that I can do now that you're an Imperial, and you've literally surrounded my base with 4 castles. He doesn't see the 4th, of course, but, well, not yet. And a few times Hera tried to get up castles. Once he succeeded, and then this was just an absolute atrocious loss there for him. He lost so many villagers moving forward. First, they were undefended. Then they were defended, but not well enough. And Vivi just places a castle right in the path and says, nah, you ain't going to get that castle. I'm going to get that location and the gold that comes with it. Even though, look at that, his 3rd gold, the one that was super duper exposed, still hasn't been touched. Remember, Portuguese units, they all cost 20% less gold, which is not a huge savings if put down on paper, but add them up over time, and it is a huge savings. Let's take a look at the stats. Hera with his usual peak APM middle of the game. This must have been the time when he had armies on both sides. Vivi, right at the beginning of the game, for him, Plumes and Eagles versus Cav Archers, Skirmishers, and Knights. A few Feudal Age Archers not really putting too much of a dent into the Portuguese meat grinder economies. Look at this. And this might explain why Hera at the end of the day was not able to catch up, because he's ahead in economy, which again means he is replenishing his villagers nonstop, which is less food for eagles, even though eagles don't really cost that much food, 25 food each. Less food for eagles, less food for basically going up to the next age, less food for technologies, etc. But at the end of the day, look at that. He still has the economic lead, about 5% bigger economy. Wow. Epic play out of both players. What an amazing game. And it is our Portuguese who gets a bit more gold. Everything else, he's a bit behind of his opponent. 3 conversions. I think we saw the 2 knights and must be a cav archer. The third one out of 91, not really playing a role. 7 raisings to 2. And let's take a look at the final kill count. 136 to 61. So Hera killed 59 military units. Vivi, 57, 56, 57, I think. Right? So Vivi kills just a fewer units. Few less units than his opponent, but come on. Look at that number. 76 villager kills to 2. And with the constant attacks and with the cav archer that I questioned, but it really peaked. It really peaked in power this game, the cav archer in the mid castle age. And right as he's going up, he now has replaced it with the more powerful organ gun that's going to demolish buildings a lot quicker. But what an absolute brilliant game offensively out of our Portuguese, and what an absolute brilliant game defensively from our Mayan. And it's not usually the case that you can say something like that, but it is just an absolute banger of a game. But ultimately, Hera falls behind too much, is not able to sustain a civilization against Imperial Age, which you, again, you know, the second Vivi adds a bit more wood to his bankroll. Actually, never mind, he's already training a Treb. Sorry, never mind, he's already training 2 Trebs. Well, there you go. So this castle is not long for this world, and Hera knows it. Taps out, lives to fight another day, and it is Vivi who is victorious, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.